Hey, how's it going? I'm Mari and I make travel videos and I'm an introvert. Anyway, I know a lot about this topic because it's kind of what I do. If you're new here, then yeah, thanks for coming by. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any videos. And if you're one of my regulars, then so good to see you again. Although I'm not really seeing you, you're just seeing me, but you know what I mean. If any of you are extroverts, don't run away. This video can actually be helpful for you too, just to better understand the introverts in your life and to just kind of know where they're coming from and how they're feeling. First off, I want to go over the differences between introverts and extroverts because I think it's misunderstood a lot. A lot of people think the differences are that extroverts are just really outgoing and they talk a lot, and introverts are shy and quiet and don't talk very much. I feel like that's the stereotype. And while sometimes that may be true for certain people, it's not what actually makes up an introvert versus an extrovert. So what it is all about is how you recharge and how you get energy. So an extrovert gains energy from other people, from being around other people. Meanwhile, introverts, it's the opposite. Introverts really need alone time to recharge. If they're with people for too long, they'll just feel drained and depleted. And they really need some time to just kind of like be alone, and that's how they can recharge. But so that's not to say that introverts always want to be alone or are always really quiet. They don't like talking. It just means that they need some time alone. And just a good reminder, with any kind of label that we have in human language, I don't think it's ever just black and white, extrovert, introvert. I think it's a spectrum. Those are the two extremes on the end of the spectrum, and then there's a whole range of people in the middle. So for me, I definitely relate to being an introvert. I feel very much that I need my alone time. I love alone time. I don't like being with people all the time. I get very drained and worn out. However, I love big crowds. I love like big festivals because I actually do gain energy. For example, like Oktoberfest, where everyone is just having a really good time and it's like a really nice social atmosphere. I love those kind of things. I feel like to me that kind of thing is really energizing. But not all introverts will feel that same way. And again, some extroverts might also enjoy their alone time. It's just kind of, there's no really right or wrong. Some people also like to call themselves an ambivert, where you're kind of in the middle. You can call yourself whatever you want. This video is kind of just understanding traveling from an introvert's point of view and how you can deal with being an introvert while traveling. So solo travel is actually really great for introverts. I think, at least. I love solo travel because it gives me so much time to be alone and I can really just do whatever I want to do. You can be with people if you want to, but then you can also just take alone time when you want, and you don't have to explain that to anyone, and you can just do it as you want and as you need. So if you're traveling alone and you do want to make some friends, I highly recommend staying at hostels. Now for an introvert, a dorm room can sometimes be too much because you're always around people. If that's too much for you, one thing actually that I've learned is look for hostels that have like a curtain, a sliding curtain, or some hostels have like, you're kind of in a pod. That actually makes so much difference. It's amazing how much like one little piece of fabric can just make to your whole well-being. Because once you close that curtain, you're like in your own little world, and all of a sudden you can be like, ah, yes. If you have a bigger budget, then you can stay in your own room, or you could do something like Airbnb or stay at a hotel if you really, really want your own space. But if you're alone, I think hostels are nice because they're a social atmosphere. Even if you're not interacting with people in a dorm room, then there's common areas to hang out. I do recommend though, if you're staying at a hostel, make sure to look at some reviews of the place first. You'll quickly see through in reviews if it's like partying, lots of noise, and some people love that and some people want that, but if you're an introvert, you might not want that. So just look at reviews and see, kind of look for ones that might be a little bit quieter. I think it's really important to embrace being alone and embrace being an introvert. I feel like there is a social stigma against people who are alone or introverted. No offense, extroverts, but I feel like they sometimes just really don't understand what it's like to be an introvert and to enjoy being alone. So yeah, I think there is a stigma against it, but honestly, just own it, just rock on, and who cares what people think about you. I think the cool thing about traveling though is that you're somewhere and nobody knows you. So you can kind of reinvent yourself and be whoever you want to be. It's so freeing. And I know when I'm by myself, I feel like I'm experiencing everything so much more. I notice little things so much more than when I'm with someone else all the time. I'm kind of always talking to them and like a little bit distracted. not paying as much attention to everything that's going on. So I feel like traveling alone as an introvert is really cool. But on the other hand, sometimes you will travel with other people. Maybe you're going on a family trip. Maybe you're just traveling with friends. Maybe you're gonna go on a group travel. So if you're traveling with people, that actually I feel sometimes can be tricky for introverts. So you just have to know yourself and know your limits. And especially if you're traveling with friends or family, I feel like the best thing you can do is just be honest and straightforward and open with them. At the start of the trip, or maybe even before you go on the trip, just tell them like, hey, just so you know, like I'm gonna need some alone time just to recharge my batteries. It's nothing about you. It's just like something that I need to do for myself. If they're your friends and family, they'll understand. I mean, hopefully they will. For me, I really enjoy running, so when I'm with other people, traveling with them, just going even on a 20-minute run alone can make all the difference. It's just some time to be alone with your thoughts and just like have time to recharge. Whoa, it just started raining a lot. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh man. Yeah, or just go on a walk, sit by a river and read a book for a little bit. Do whatever you gotta do that makes you feel good. If you're gonna travel with a group, like doing a group tour or something, those can be hit or miss, I think. For me, I've had some guided trips that are good that I end up clicking with the people in that group and the guides are really cool and like it's a good experience. And then sometimes like I just don't really feel like I click with anyone. So if I'm gonna do some kind of tour, I need to make sure that I still have some alone time kind of factored in. You just really have to know for yourself what you like and you don't like. But if that is the kind of travel you like to do, like no problem with that. You'll just have to make it a point to really take some time for yourself. So maybe like when you're traveling on a bus between destinations or something, you know, just put your headphones in and then kind of just take that time while you're on transportation to just like be. I often use transportation while traveling as a way to just like chill out. And hey, extroverts, if you're watching this, just a PSA, if you're sitting next to someone and they put headphones in and they obviously don't really want to talk, then just let them be. And introverts, if you don't want to talk to the person next to you, like be nice about it, just be polite or just be honest. I don't know why as an introvert we have to feel bad for not wanting to talk to people sometimes. Like, I think that's kind of, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of sad, but we can't change everything, hey? But anyway, yeah, so extroverts, if you're watching, just be really conscious of that and try to be understanding that not everyone wants to talk all the time. But yeah, so if you do want to go on tours, just beware that it might be draining. The alternative is just go on short tours, go on day trips, do just things that are short term so you know you'll have alone time. Other things that you can do while you're traveling as an introvert just to kind of keep sane, keep a journal, write down your thoughts, and that's just kind of like having some time for you, just kind of write things out and go through things. Also, having a purpose while you're traveling is really good. So like having a blog, or for me, yeah, it's YouTube videos, so I always have something to do. So it's like at night, if everyone in the hostel is going out partying and like I really just don't feel like it, I honestly usually have to edit videos anyway, so it's like I have a good excuse to not go out. So I just stay in and edit. Having like some kind of purpose and something that you can keep busy with while you're traveling is really good, so you don't get bored. You could also like have a task of like trying to learn a new language while you're traveling. If you're an artist, you could do like little watercolors of places you go, or just different things like that. Give yourself some challenges and things to do, and that will keep you happy and occupied and good to go. But that being said, if you watch the How to Make Friends video, sometimes you do just have to say yes and embrace those opportunities and just like put your introvert side away and just like step out of your comfort zone and like do things that you wouldn't normally do, because that's also the fun of travel. Don't be too much of an introvert that you don't have like really cool experiences. Get out of your comfort zone at least a few times. Make an effort to like push yourself to do more and see more that you normally would. But then of course, don't get burnt out. It's all about balance, you know? Alright, I hope this video was helpful to you, and let me know if you have any good tips for being an introvert while traveling. And if you have any questions about anything, leave it in the comments below as well. Any extroverts who've watched this whole thing, I hope it was kind of helpful to you. Alright, thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to catch more videos from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!